Hello, I hope you are having a fabulous day. Today, what I want to look at is our JOTS. So, yesterday in class, we had a book club discussion. Hopefully, you gained some new ideas or kind of thought a little bit differently about your book throughout that discussion. So, I kind of want us to take a look and check in with our JOTS and then do a little bit of writing. So, I wanted to show you my JOT page for Spirit Run, which is one of the books I'm currently reading, but it's the memoir I'm currently reading to go with your memoir book clubs. So this is just kind of my initial ideas page. This is what this is the kind of thing I'm expecting to see when I look at your JOTS. I'm expecting to see different notes about different things and then some additional added on information. So you can see, if I take my highlighter here, you can see that like these stars are initial thoughts that I have had while reading. And then these little arrows are like added on ideas. So as I read, if I have another idea about something, I add it to that JOT. So this is the kind of thing that I should be seeing when I look through your JOTS. If this is not what your JOTS look like, it's okay if they are organized differently, but you should have quite a number of JOTS. I'm not super far into Spirit Run. I just started it a couple days ago, so I don't have like a ton of JOTS, but this is what I've got. I have some other pages, but I don't want you to worry about those yet. So I should be seeing this kind of thing. You should be forming initial ideas. You should be adding to those ideas. What I want us to do today is write a little bit more about one of these ideas. So I want you to look through the JOTS that you have, the ideas you already have, and choose one to write a little bit more about. You'll see that some of mine are statements and some of mine are questions and some of them are kind of both. So you can choose either. A statement can be expanded upon, a question can be answered in some way. So you want to choose one of those things, and we're going to write more about it. So I'm going to go over to another document. So let's talk a little bit about writing long. You want to look through your JOTS. You want to choose one to expand on. This should be one you have something more to say about. If you are like, well, I don't have anything more to say about any of my JOTS, then I would suggest reading some more first and thinking about what is really impacting you from the story and what seems really important, and jotting through that. We can also think about character setting, perspective, and identity when we're reading. So if you want to kind of choose one of those lenses to focus on, that would not be a bad idea. Then you want to write. This doesn't need to be like a formal essay. You're not writing you're not worried about like structure of your writing right now. But you are worried about being thoughtful and thorough. So you should be expanding your thinking while you are writing. So I chose one of my questions that I asked. I wrote, how is Noe changing through this experience? So he's decided to go on this indigenous run through North America, like running like dozens of miles a day, through, with all of these different people. And so I'm kind of thinking about like, okay, how has he changed? And I jotted more confidence, more insight into the past, or like his past. That was an additional thing that I added as I was reading. But I want to write about that a little bit more. So I might just start, and I'm going to be like, Noe is changing a lot through this experience. And like at the beginning, of the book, Noe seemed really like lost he didn't have like any direction. To his life, except he really wanted to like change his hometown. So his hometown, he doesn't really like it. He doesn't think that the people there have what they need, and so he wants to like improve it. Wanted to positively change his hometown. This is a big pressure for him at the beginning, actually. The beginning, he really feels like he has to, like he's the one who can save all of these people that live in his hometown. So this is a big pressure for him in the beginning, and I'm going to say the people he grew up with. Again, we're not super worried about like grammar right this moment. We're not really worried about this being like really formal writing. We're just worried about getting our ideas out and really being thoughtful with what we're writing and really thinking through this small jot that we jotted. We're really trying to expand upon our thinking. So I'm thinking about like the details that I noticed and things like that. Name the people he grew up around. Okay. Obviously, we haven't talked some more. So I'm going to keep going. So I've just kind of summarized where I am. I'm looking back to see what I want to say next, because a lot of times if I don't pay attention to what I've already written, sometimes I just like go off on tangents. And we don't really want to go off on a tangent. Well, this again isn't like a formal piece of writing. I don't want to totally miss the point, right? Because then I won't have thought about the jot that I'm actually working on. So we're kind of here. So I was asking how he was changing. I said he had more confidence and more insight into the past. So I want to talk a little bit about that. Now that he's on this, now that he's on this spiritual run, Noe is gaining, if I don't try to write too fast and mess up, is gaining confidence and strength, both physically and emotionally. Which I hadn't thought of before I was writing this. I hadn't really thought of it as a physical, like I thought of confidence as a physical change or an emotional change. But yeah, he is growing stronger emotionally, like he's exploring his emotions more, both physically and emotionally. Actually, I think I'll talk about that. He is really beginning to explore his emotions and connections to his past, the land and his ancestors. ancestors. At one point, he encounters a mountain lion. So he encounters this mountain lion, and he thinks he's going to die. But manages to get away, maybe? He doesn't, like, run away. He gets away by loudly saying thank you to the mountain lion, which was super interesting. And so in this moment, he's super focused on a connection to his past and the world around him, even as he thinks he might be dying. The lion might kill him. He then... Actually, let me rephrase that because that's not quite what happened. So, the world around him, even as he thinks the lion might kill him. So he's really thinking about forming this connection to the past, even though, like, this thing is happening that it could be the last event of his life. So he's pretty scared. But the lion does run away. So, like, when the lion leaves... Noe is left this connection, and he really begins to unpack the trauma from his past. This is a major... Nope. Major turning point for him that allows him see life more clearly. Okay, so I could keep writing. I could say even more, but I'm going to stop there. So you can see, like, I kind of came to some new conclusions while I was reading. I had originally just said, oh, he's more confident and he's more insightful into his past. But as I was writing, I realized, like, well, he's getting stronger emotionally, not just thinking about his past. And, like, this lion incident really does seem to be, like, a major turning point, and it just happened in the story. where I am in the story. But immediately after that, he like starts really thinking about some traumatic things that happened in the past for him. And so this feels like it's a major turning point, and he's really starting to unpack some of the trauma he's dealt with and deal with it. So I, again, could write more, but I'm going to stop there. So this is the kind of thing I want to see when you turn in this writing. You should be thinking through your original thought. You might have more examples from the text, like you might kind of be pointing to specific incidents like I did with the mountain lion, or other things like that. But while you are writing, just think through your ideas. Really try to expand upon them and dig a little bit deeper into those ideas. All right, have a fabulous day. I will see you later.